called for you to ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for your business to buy things you need to increase profitability than it was 4 years ago? Does your business have more or less unemployment? Is your business as respected as it was? Do you feel your business is on as secure financial grounds as it was 4 years ago? And if you answer all those questions, yes, why then, I think your choice is very obvious as to who handles your brand and marketing. If you don't think the marketing course is what you would like to see your business follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
And it is improving the economy one business at a time. CreativeGeniusMarketing.com, INetDishWeb.com.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Get 50% off all windows, plus no interest or payments for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Classical conservatism, contemporary style. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. We have a lot of fun on this show. We also break a whole lot of serious news. For example, we were the first to report this major order, and this is a big one. Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge David Borowski is forcing Milwaukee Public Schools to return school resource officers to some of its worst performing and most violent hallways. This is something that has been badly needed, and more importantly, and germane to Judge Borowski's order, this has been legally required since Governor Evers signed Act 12, which gives Milwaukee a whole ton more in shared revenue and allowed it, as well as Milwaukee County, to levy new sales taxes. As one small concession, Republicans in the state legislature forced MPS to re-enter an agreement with the Milwaukee Police Department to put school resource officers back in schools. MPS just sort of said, nah, we don't have to do that. Well, Judge Borowski today said, yes, you most certainly do. He gave them until February 17th to reach an agreement with the Milwaukee Police Department to get those officers back in schools. I have obtained a memo that went out to all Milwaukee Police Department districts from the Chief of Staff to Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman. The attached document was created as a summary of Standard Operating Procedure 130, governing foreign nationals, diplomatic immunity, and immigration enforcement, and shared with intergovernmental partners, media, and community organizations inquiring about the Milwaukee Police Department's policy on immigration enforcement. While members are required to know and understand SOP 130 in its entirety, this may be a useful guide for MPD members numbers and offers a quick summary of information responsive to inquiries we are receiving. Of course, the media here in Milwaukee and across the state is fanning the flames of fear. Illegal immigrants are terrified that they're going to be rounded up and deported because, well, many of them are probably going to be rounded up and deported if they committed crimes. And now, according to the Lake and Riley Act, which was just passed by both houses of Congress and is going to be signed very, very quickly, I'm told, by President Trump, even for quote-unquote minor crimes like theft. We like to pretend in Joe Biden's America, we did for the better part of 4 years, when jurisdictions like Milwaukee and states like California said, well, shoplifting, it's a victimless crime. There's a shopkeeper who's victimless crime. Victimless crime. Unless you steal up to $900 of merchandise, we're not even going to bother arresting you. Illegal immigrants now can be deported. They can be turned over to ICE for quote-unquote minor crimes. Now, anyone with a fully functioning cerebral cortex would understand that this makes a whole lot of sense. If you're living in this country illegally, and then you continue to do illegal things, and we know you've done illegal things that are in this country illegally, we should be able to ship your rear end back. Big part of this memo that went out yesterday, quote, MPD cannot request passports, visas, green cards, or other immigration status documents and cannot question any person about their immigration status unless a judicial warrant exists and the person is arrested for severe crimes. Those severe crimes are terrorism or espionage, participation in a transnational criminal street gang, violent felony, sexual offense involving a minor as a victim, or the individual is a previously deported felon or any other serious felony that is a safety threat to the population at large. So, just so all of you illegal immigrant rapists are hearing me clearly, MPD will not inquire about your immigration status if you just make sure that the woman you're raping is 18 years of age or older. You rape a kid, then that's a bridge too far for Jeffrey Norman and the Milwaukee Police Department. But if you're just a garden variety rapist, if you're just, raping a 35-year-old woman, MPD doesn't really care. They don't really care. You'll go to jail, sure, but you still have every right to be in this country, according to the Milwaukee Police Department, so long as your rape victim is of age. Also, if you noted, even if you commit a felony, if it's not a violent felony, then you aren't going to be turned over to ICE. Clearly, Milwaukee as a sanctuary city, Milwaukee County, the sheriff's department under Danita Ball. Is Danita Ball still sheriff, by the way? I haven't heard otherwise, so I am going to assume. I have not heard a single thing from Milwaukee County Sheriff Danita Ball in at least 2 to 3 years. At least. Do we have to go and do a welfare check on the Milwaukee County Sheriff? Back when Sheriff Clark was patrolling the streets, he would be in the news constantly, at an incredibly visible presence. Now, I'm not discounting the work that MCSO deputies do, but I'm just saying I have not heard the name Danita Ball in at least a year. I have not seen her. I have not heard from her in it's gotta be 2. I just thought of that right now. Where in the world is the Milwaukee County Sheriff? Well, we know where Jeff Norman was. Pretty much the entire month of December, he was interviewing to leave Milwaukee to be the new police chief in Austin, Texas, but unfortunately lost out. Now, he, through his chief of staff, is reminding officers, and folks, this really, while this is a new memo that went out yesterday, because of course everyone is just terrified that Donald Trump is personally going to come in. Like you're going to see the bat signal in the sky. It's going to be Trump's silhouette instead of in black and white. It'll be, of course, in orange. And that means that the Trump man is coming to clean up the streets of Gotham. No, it's not obviously going to work like that. But deportations have clearly started, and the Milwaukee Police Department wants to make sure that every illegal criminal knows that it's only certain crimes that they will ever be removed from this country for. So keep on raping if you want to rape. Just make sure that the victims are of age. You might be prosecuted. I mean, still an open question. We have a new Milwaukee County District Attorney, seems to share the same philosophy of decriminalizing crime as the old Milwaukee County District Attorney. We presume that rapists of age women will be prosecuted in Milwaukee. Still, I think, an open question. If you are an illegal immigrant felon, just make sure you are not violent. Now, here's a pro tip. Plead down that violent felony to a nonviolent felony, or better yet, if you get in front of one of the truly psychotic, awful judges in Milwaukee, like Danielle Shelton, plead it down to a misdemeanor, and then not only will you never have to go to prison, you can stay in America and keep committing crimes as long as you darn well please. Left-wing judge in Seattle strikes down President Trump's Birthright citizenship order, but could that cause far bigger problems on this than that judge intended?
When winter's frosty grip squeezes out all the joy of the season, that's when to heat things up by playing the nationwide Cold Hard Cash Contest on Newstalk 1130 WISN.
Win some cash.
9 times each weekday. Listen for the keyword to enter at newstalk1130.com, and you could win the hourly prize of $1,000.
The Cold Hard Cash Contest is presented by Tap In Golf Bar, offering Metro Milwaukee's premier indoor golf simulator experience. Locations in Waukesha and Sussex. TapInGolfBar.com.
What are 3 things you can do during a frozen Wisconsin winter? Well, you can go skiing, or do some ice fishing, or you can take a tropical vacation with Mr. Holland's Home Services. No, despite the rumors, we're not adding a travel agency to our robust roster of services. But with Mr. Holland's help, you can enjoy a tropical getaway this winter without ever leaving your home. Bring the heat of the beach into your abode with our top-notch heating repair, replacement, and maintenance. Relax to the soothing sounds of gently cascading water provided by our prestigious plumbers. Bask in the warm glow of revitalizing light, courtesy of Mr. Holland's expert electricians. Heating, plumbing, and electric. Or as we like to call it, the trifecta of tranquility. Escape to the tropics and rejuvenate your January with Mr. Holland's Home Services. 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Want to say aloha to Total Home Comfort? We can help.
Hi, Scott Reamer from Reamer Remodel, Wisconsin's leading residential remodeler, specializing in kitchens, bathrooms, lower levels, and additions. Quality craftsmanship, fair pricing, and a dedicated project manager on every job, giving you the best overall experience. Communication, transparency, process, quality. To learn more, visit us online at ReamerRemodel.com. Tune in this Saturday at 3 when I'll be Paul Kromforth's guest on a special edition of the Remodeling Show. That's this Saturday at 3 on News Talk 1130.
Welcome to This Week with Annex Wealth Management. I'm Dan O'Donnell alongside the CEO of Annex, Dave Spano. And this week, of course, a new president is inaugurated. A new administration takes over. That will mean new policies on trade, on markets, on taxation, on regulation. Heck, Dave, even on what we call the Gulf of Mexico. I kind of have to admit the Gulf of America has a pretty nice ring to it.
And as long as we can stay with that theme, why don't we rename it Lake Wisconsin, instead of Lake Michigan? And in fact, while we're at it, let's take the UP back as well. But that's exactly right. There's so much going on, Dan, that we're going to have to watch, and it's going to be a lot that's going to change. And for sure, at the top of that is going to be remain in Mexico, immigration plan. Certainly want to see what's going to happen with tax planning, deregulation, and the Federal Reserve. All of these are going to have a direct effect on the markets, on your pocketbook, how you plan going forward. And that really is is a process of understanding where you are and where you want to be. So all of these facts and circumstances are going to change, Dan, over the next number of months. So let's stay with this. Let's stay on top of it. Make sure you know what you own, why you own it, how much you're paying for it, and exactly how to go through this process.
And the best way to do that is to head to annexwealth.com to get a review of your portfolio. It's called a wealth metric. It is absolutely free because no matter who it is that's in charge of tax policy, no matter who it is that's in charge of deregulating industries, it always comes down to how you're positioned to deal with the inevitable, and that is change in Washington, D.C., in Madison, Wisconsin, heck, somewhere in the middle of the Upper Peninsula of Wisconsin. There will always be change, and we will always be here to help you navigate it. For Dave Spano, CEO of Annex, I'm Dan O'Donnell. This has been This Week with Annex Wealth Management.
Hot summer night, lightning strike. Down goes the tree, right through their bedroom wall, nearly ruining a walnut headboard, which is pretty hard wood. Fortunately, the customers were okay, but the headboard? That wasn't, until they called us. We made that Victorian headboard better than new. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing, repair, and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. Well, if you haven't heard me bragging by now, we're darn good. Actually, my dad has no qualms about saying we're the best. And if you're skeptical, I understand. But all you have to do is go to MullallyFinishing.com to learn why we're great at what we do and see lots of before and after photos that show off our impressive work. So if you're looking for a name you can trust, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com.
Real feedback from Brookfield and Mequon's Reset Restore MD patient.
My daughter's intravenous ketamine treatments made a significant difference in just 2 weeks.
R&R for Relief, Reset Restore MD, rnrmd.com.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. If you drive drunk, you will be pulled over and you will be arrested. You cannot talk your way out of a DUI, but you can keep your mouth shut for your best defense. Call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
Have you made your favorite station a preset on our new and improved iHeartRadio app?
Wait, what?
What about your favorite podcast?
You could do that? Yeah, you really can.
Whatever you choose, it's as easy as a tap to make a preset. And with the all-new live radio dial, it's easier than ever to discover new stations you'll love. Plus, the new trending section and the lyrics to all your favorite songs.
Love the new look of the iHeartRadio app, guys.
It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand. Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. I'm American.
Conservative thought.
Not just talk.
This is the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Longtime listeners will recognize this as the theme song to Forgotten History. I want to do a quick update. I said we were bringing Forgotten History back. This just happened to be in the regular bumper music rotation. I said my producer is halfway on vacation. Where are you going on your cruise again, Paul? St. Kitts, Tortola or Tortuga, the pirate island from Pirates of the Caribbean. That would be way more fun. Can we get a cruise and tour trip to the Isle of Tortuga? The Captain Jack Sparrow cruise of a lifetime, or whatever they'd want to brand it as. You're going to the other side of Haiti where the gang lord barbecue was eating dudes. Really? You're going to barbecue. Oh, he's saying that would be the. Okay, I was going to say, I'm not going on the Paul Cronforce trip. That's for damn sure. No, we normally only play that bumper when we're introducing Forgotten History. And I know I said we were going to bring that back on Thursdays. Folks, it just doesn't make sense until the Mark Belling football preview and picking contest is done, because I want to have that Forgotten History piece air at about 5:30, but instead, we are looking for a new audience contestant. We had one contestant pick one game. He, unfortunately, was not correct. We had both Mark and Mike Merlette push. They took the Eagles. The game was exactly 6 points. Paul got a win. The Bills, a 1.5 favorite over the Baltimore Ravens. They won by 2. Oh, no, they were dogs. That's right. Ravens were the home or the road favorites. Boy, oh, boy, that was a good game. Boy, I didn't really get a chance to talk about it all that much because, we were a little busy with the inauguration on Monday. I feel terrible for Mark Andrews. The guy never fumbles. He never drops passes. He did both. And it would have, they could have won if he doesn't lose that fumble. They certainly would have tied the game. Last second touchdown, Lamar Jackson throws an absolute dart. Easy, wide open 2-point conversion. Andrews drops it. Our listener contestant, Todd, took the Detroit Lions 8.5-point favorites over the Washington Commanders. They got shellacked. 45-31 was the final. It wasn't even that close. I mean, Washington, they led this one wire to wire and just dominated. The Commanders and Eagles actually split the season series. They're in the same division. They played twice. I still think the Eagles are going to win this one. Is there anyone in the universe, though, who is not pulling for the Buffalo Bills over Kansas City? I'll give you a pass if you're from Kansas City or your last name is either Swift or Mahomes. Everybody else should be rooting for the Buffalo Bills. I don't want to see the three-peat. It's nothing personal against Kansas City. I really like Andy Reid, Packers guy, of course. Yeah, enough already. The Buffalo Bills, they're best known for what? Losing 4 straight Super Bowls. Exactly. 4 straight Super Bowls. I want to see them finally win the big prize. I'm rooting for Buffalo all the way, which probably means they're going to lose by 30 in the AFC Championship on Sunday. Also, the college football's national championship game, Ohio State, man, what a run they were on. The better team won. I know Notre Dame had some chances, but not really. Not really. You hate Ohio State? Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, I'm a Marquette guy, and Notre Dame, you got that rivalry as the other Catholic school, but I root for Notre Dame. I'm not, That said, and I will stake my reputation on this fact, Rudy was offsides. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for more Trump executive actions. At the top of the show, we told you that he declassified the JFK, RFK, and MLK assassination files. I'm sure people will be sifting through them very quickly. I have not been on X or anywhere else to see if there's anything really juicy from any of those. That, of course, is the big one. But how about this? Not necessarily an executive order, but a pardon. President Trump has pardoned the people down, I believe they were in Pennsylvania, who were peacefully praying outside of a Planned Parenthood. The Biden Justice Department tossed them in prison for violating a rule that says you can't block access to a Planned Parenthood or other abortion provider. President Trump just gave them a full and unconditional pardon. He also signed an executive order about 45 minutes to an hour ago, forming an international working group, internal working group, to make America the world capital of cryptocurrency. This is an interesting one, and if I have time, I will get into this in greater depth. Cryptocurrency is something that, quite frankly, folks, I have a difficult time encouraging people to invest in. We did a long segment on the failure of the Hawk Tua Girls coin, and it's a cautionary tale. There are a whole lot of fraudsters out there who will do a classic pump and dump scheme with a new digital twist. They'll get the value of a cryptocurrency up very high, whereas a small group of people control all the coins, and then they're selling a small amount of them, making tons of money. And then when the people who have access to the publicly available coins go to buy them, they're dramatically overvalued, and then the price crashes almost immediately. It's a classic pump and dump. Now, this isn't going to happen with more stable coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and that sort of thing. I'm just a big believer in the Warren Buffett mantra that if you don't understand it and completely understand it, don't invest in it. That said, clearly cryptocurrency is a wave of the future, and the United States of America is very smart to be riding that wave. We name the unhinged liberal of the day. Trust me, plenty to choose from, but you'll love the one we picked. Coming up next here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Northbound on the Rock Freeway, still got a crash, partially blocking the on-ramp from Highway 100. 43 southbound tight from Burleigh to Center. 94 eastbound, you're slow in 76 to 35th. Westbound 16th to Mitchell Boulevard. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank total traffic tip line, 414-944-5111.
This report is sponsored by the Lynch Automotive family of dealerships.
Rev up the savings at the Lynch family of dealerships and cruise into the new year with financing as low as 0% APR to approved credit or $10,000 in rebates on select new vehicles. Over 1,200 vehicles in stock. Find your ride today at shoplynch.com.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American Tons of Trees movement. CutandGoTrees.com. That's CutandGoTrees.com.
For safe, purified water right from your faucet, the solution is crystal clear.
Any project, big or small, when it comes to water, one call does it all. SNK, pump and plumbing.
Dan O'Donnell here for my longtime friends at Birthright Furniture. Birthright's New Year's mattress sale is extended. Shop the most unique selection of mattresses with over 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best brands made in the USA, including Heirloom, Restonic, Therapeutic, Shiftman, and more. Birthright always saves you money. Don't make a mistake by ordering online or from an employee-free store. Birthright makes it easy, and with their legitimate sale prices, you'll get exceptional value and a great night's sleep, as I do on my Birthright Heirloom mattress. They do the research for you, and their team will take the time to help properly fit you. Birthright specializes in hard-to-find, flippable, two-sided, and heavy-duty mattresses that hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, Birthright offers free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $799 or more. Shop Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. Tell them Dan sent you to Birthright at 54th and Layton in Greenfield.
Tune in every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. as Ellen Becker Investment Group highlights local people and organizations who are using their time and their talents to give back to make a difference in our community. Milwaukee's philanthropic community. Visit ellenbecker.com to learn more.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. If you drive drunk, you will be pulled over and you will be arrested. You cannot talk your way out of a DUI, but you can keep your mouth shut for your best defense. Call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
Opinion, emotion, passion. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
Fox on Tech.
Forget where you've been? So will your Google Maps app if you don't tend to this one thing. Big changes are coming soon to Google Maps and its timeline feature, which keeps track of where you've been and to what places you've needed driving, walking, or transit directions. And these changes mean the history is going to be deleted. The change represents Google's move to more privacy-centered policies, but you don't have to lose it altogether if you don't wish, though the new rules won't preserve location data older than 3 months. Timeline data is being moved off the cloud and directly to your device. Google will email you with the warning and the instructions on how to save the data using the export tool at takeout.google.com or within the app on your device inside the location and privacy settings inside the account settings. Pay attention to that email, although it may give you 6 full months to preserve your data. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
Back to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, another chance for you to win $1,000 in our cold hard cash contest. We will have the, and I use this term very loosely, highlights from Governor Evers' State of the State address, something that I dare say nobody else picked up on. He declared it the year of the kid. Meanwhile, somewhere on a beach in Delaware, you could hear Joe Biden going, someone say kid? Time now to name the unhinged liberal of the day.
Make me crazy.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany.
Make me crazy.
All white people are racist.
Does that make me crazy?
Trump is dangerous because he's evil.
America is over.
Yeah, as Biden, Evers, they're practically the same person. As Evers declared it the year of the kid, he inadvertently, I think, exposed the ultimate flaw in liberal thought. And I know that's a bold statement, but I dare say I can back it up. Today's unhinged liberal of the day is a woman by the name of Molly Gawler. And by golly, Miss Molly just wants to heal the entire world through song. Here it is, her soon-to-be platinum chart-topping hit, BIPOC.
Black and indigenous people of color. Black and indigenous people of color. Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer. Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer. Asian American Pacific Islander. Asian American Pacific Islander. Latino, Hispanic, Romani, and Creole. Latino, Hispanic, Romani, and Creole. We all have a place in this world. We all have a place in this world.
That, by the way, her keeping the beat was her thumping her chest. Molly Gawler, your unhinged liberal of the day.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Michaels. Cash bond has now been set at $500,000 for the man accused of setting a fire at Congressman Glenn Grothman's office. Fond du Lac County DA Eric Toney.
The defendant sought out Representative Grothman's office in an effort to burn it down because Congressman Grothman voted yes to force a sale of the social media app TikTok.
The man now faces up to 56 years in prison if convicted. A Lake Geneva man has now been charged in the death of an 8-year-old boy in the town of Geneva. Stephen Merkel is now facing a single count of first-degree reckless homicide. Merkel is the stepfather of 8-year-old Michael Meager, who officials say was unintentionally shot and killed by Merkel early Monday morning. And it appears as if another Buc-ee's location is coming to our area. Fox 6's Carl Deffenbaugh.
The company just announced plans this morning, bringing one of these mega popular convenience stores to the Oak Creek area. And this would be alongside I-94 near Elm Road and feature more than 120 gas pumps. Now, this is not a done deal yet. The Oak Creek City Council will meet to finalize plans next week.
The 4 o'clock business report brought to you by the Good Feet store. The Dow up today, 408 points. The NASDAQ gained 44 while the S&P rose 32. Checking the holiday automotive of Fond du Lac Sports Scoreboard. Bucks home tonight. They'll play the Heat at Fiserv, but tip time is at 6:30. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, WISN News Center, I'm Dave Michaels on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
A few early snow showers and some blowing snow, and then the sun takes over this afternoon, high near 22. Overnight tonight, we'll drop back down into the single digits, and from there, low 20s again tomorrow. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. My Lowe's Rewards Week is coming, and it's kind of a big deal. Members, get ready for up to 40% off store-wide on hundreds of items. Join for free today. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms subject to change.
You know, the new year is a great time to reconsider how we do things, like how to make things better in 2025. Like when it comes to the whole struggle of how to pay for your health care, people generally are not happy with the status quo. But there's good news. There's a much better option, and it's proven too. MediShare is refreshing. You can save thousands of dollars a year. Many save up to $500 a month, seriously. And you get to choose from a huge network of doctors and providers. And maybe the best part, and we know this from research on why people join MediShare, they love this. Instead of sending your money every month to a huge corporation that might fund all sorts of procedures or things you don't believe in, you're joining a faith-based network of people who actually care about each other. And like I said, that's refreshing. There is a better option. You don't have to do it the way you've always done it. You can make a change and start saving now. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. Call 866-89-BIBLE. That's 866-89-BIBLE. 866-89-BIBLE.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Join News Talk 1130 this Saturday at 4 p.m. for The Word on Medicine, the show that brings you the latest medical innovations and discoveries by physicians and scientists at the Medical College of Wisconsin. That's Saturday afternoon at 4 on News Talk 1130 WISN.
I'm Victor Harding, a true trial attorney at Warshevsky Law. You've heard our advertising for years. While it's been effective introducing Warshevsky to injured people in need of maximum judgments and settlements, most of our clients come from personal referral. Referrals from former clients grateful for the settlement or trial judgment Warshevsky won on their behalf. Thus, they're recommending us to friends and family. Referrals from people in the community, including other lawyers and judges who want to make sure their friends and family are taken care of. Still not sure? Ask around. Warshevsky is referred by Wisconsin law enforcement officers who've seen Warshevsky attorneys in action, desperate to make sure friends and family receive just compensation. Insurance adjusters, often our adversaries, refer their family members hurt in accidents. They know the work we do. They all refer Warshevsky because big case or small, we can help. If someone you love is injured, please let them know, because at the end of their ordeal, their injury is about the money. Warshevsky.com.
When I decided to remodel my kitchen, it was important to see more than just designs and drawings. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart made it easy, with more fully built kitchen displays than anywhere else. The showroom made all the difference when making important design decisions. Along with their talented team of designers, decorators, and installers, my dream kitchen came to life.
For almost 75 years, our team at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has created kitchen and bathroom remodels that set us apart from the rest. We understand that your kitchen must be a well-oiled machine, so you enjoy using it. And don't forget, bathrooms too. That's why we offer quality design that incorporates the existing space in your home to enhance the style. Come see our full displays in our 18,000 square foot showroom, and with our wide selection of flooring, Play-Doh custom cabinetry, appliances, and countertops, you can get everything you need in one place. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Visit wisconsinkitchenmart.com for more information and a free consultation.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move statewide. For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
When you need to know what it all means, that's when you need us. Stay informed all day, every day on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
The golden age of America begins right now.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
President Trump and his new puppet master, Elon Musk, fresh off of his awkward, dorky Nazi salute that the left is losing its ever-loving mind about, are sort of looking down at the libs, and a little disappointed that they're not raging. They're not, going nuts like they did in 2017 after the first Trump inauguration. Do you think they're putting a hand to their ear, a la the Grinch that stole Christmas, and say, look at them all through the darkness we're bringing? They're not sad at all. They're actually singing.
Black and indigenous people of color.
Oh, yeah.
Black and indigenous people of color.
I don't care what Taylor Swift does or Sabrina Carpenter. This is the song of the summer 2025. Book it. Here we go.
Transgender and queer. Asian American Pacific Islander. Asian American Pacific Islander.
This is Molly Gawler.
Latino, Hispanic, Romani. Latino, Hispanic.
It's her new banger, BIPOC.
We all have a place in this world. We all have a place in this world.
Except for you white Christians, cis males. Time now to get a cold, hard cash contest winner. How about you? We had Patrick in Waukesha yesterday, 5 o'clock hour. He entered the keyword. He won $1,000. We had a listener winner last week. And who knows, the next one could be you. The word this hour is Bills, as in we're all rooting for the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship this weekend. BILLS Bills. If your entry is picked at random, you win $1,000. You've got until 55 past. Have the phone on. Make sure you're able to answer calls from phone numbers that aren't in your contacts. Some of you with iPhones may have a setting where it automatically just goes to voicemail. Don't turn that on. You're going to get a call from a private number. It might be an unlisted number, but it very well could be us. If that call comes between the top of the hour and about quarter past, it just might be us telling you you've won $1,000 in cash instantly. Man, do I love it when liberals write their own songs. This brings me endless, and I mean endless, joy. I thought we were the only side that was experiencing joy right now. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is currently making it its personal mission to turn the firing of the CBS 58 meteorologist into a national left-wing jihad. If you would like to see some of the incredibly tolerant messages from the people who just, they hate Nazis. They hate Nazi salutes. They are just the defenders of good and purity in this world. Check out my X account at Dan O'Donnell Show there for some of the emails, truly some of the honest to goodness emails that I have been sent over the last 15 hours or so, just for the thought crime of breaking the story that meteorologist Sam Kuffel posted false information that Elon gave a Nazi salute. And also, it is remarkable how many liberals truly believe with every fiber of their being that even though Elon said, "My heart goes out to you," as he was putting his heart out to the crowd, that he in fact made a Nazi gesture. Even though the Anti-Defamation League said, no, it was an awkward kind of weird thing that he did, but it definitely wasn't a Nazi salute. Even though Bibi Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel today, came out and said, we stand with Elon Musk. We know that he's not a neo-Nazi, despite what you American psychopaths might believe. The left just refuses to come to grips with reality. And Ms. Kuffel, unfortunately, had quite the kerfuffle posting this with, a little foul-mouthed rant. And as I explained yesterday, after reporting on this was not her first rodeo when it comes to misusing social media in the eyes of her employer. You would never get fired for something like that. You just never would. I don't care if you have the most picayunish boss in the world. Everyone understands that people in media oftentimes were hot-headed and we're passionate, and we post stuff that we later come to regret. This clearly was the result of several times this young lady was warned about misusing social media, posting things that don't reflect the values of Weigel Broadcasting, the owner of CBS 58, and this was the last straw. I have no inside knowledge of this. I'm sure CBS 58 is not particularly happy with me right now, but I can just tell you, in all of my experience in broadcasting, doing things that my managers don't quite agree with or like. I've had 24 years of doing stuff like that they get ticked off at. I know what the limit is. And I know that post didn't cross it, frankly. It didn't. It did. Is it crass? She also posted a GIF where it's always sunny in Philadelphia. Is that Charlie Day? I'm not sure which one it is, but he says, screw that guy. He's a Nazi bleep. And it's obviously directed at Musk. I mean, it's a GIF. It's not something that would cause you to lose your job, unless, of course, this is not the first time you have done something that doesn't seem to matter to all of the tolerant, compassionate lefties who no doubt have coexist bumper stickers on their Priuses. Do libs still drive Priuses? Or is that passé? They drove Teslas for a while there, but can't do that right now. If you want to see all of their tolerant remarks, go to facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show. I have never been happier to have my Facebook messages open. I do that so people can contact me for news tips or whatever else. I don't have Twitter DMs open because I learned my lesson real early that people on Twitter, now X, are unhinged psychopaths if they're on the left, and they will send you all manner of vile stuff. My email, if you would like to send me a terrible note, liberals, is dod@iheartmedia.com. We have got way, way, way too much stuff to cover. But the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, they are trying their doggonedest to get this into a national scandal. I've never seen anything like it, to be totally honest with you. Not only did they post that Kuffel was fired, they were the ones that broke the story. And, of course, Dan Bice is there seeking comment from me. Like, what possible comment could I have, Dan? How about you go to the management that actually let her go? Get their comment. I don't know. They refused to comment to me. I don't know. So they post that story. And then Drake Bentley, who is another Journal-Sentinel reporter, posts another story on jsonline.com where pretty much all they do is embed people responding to my tweet and seeing what angry posts that they could gin up. And then they have like two people who say they had no lie, 15 to 16 people just furious in various stages of left-wing meltdowns over this. And they had two people who said, yeah, okay, it's good that, you know, she's facing accountability for her actions. And that, to the Journal-Sentinel, is unbiased, fair reporting. Then they have an opinion writer, an opinion columnist, writes that Sam Kuffel shouldn't have been fired. Now, as Patrick McAlaren, who is a longtime Republican strategist, he was a conservative columnist for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel when they actually allowed conservatives to write in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He made a great point. He said, if the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says this is allegedly a vulgar post and Kuffel posted with Musk, if you bleep with this Nazi, I don't bleep with you, or something to that effect. McAlaren's point was very simple and it was very good. If this is just an allegedly vulgar post, and it's perfectly fine that she wrote this, why did the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel not print out those F-bombs in their entirety? Why, oh why, did the opinion columnist, whose name I have already forgotten, he is the editor of the Ideas Lab, which they have the little beakers and Bunsen burners wherever the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is located now. They have some bungalow in Cudahy. I don't know. They were forced to sell their big downtown business. Do they have? They've got a little duplex in West Allis. It's Dan Bice, the sports team, and Preps Plus, and that's pretty much it that's left over at the Journal-Sentinel. You've got so the Ideas Lab. You've got this right. He's got crazy, wild, untamed white hair. He's wearing a lab coat. He's just cooking up ideas down there, like Walter White and Jesse were cooking up meth. No. They've got ideas that immediately are posted to, wait for it, Blue Sky. Huh? Sky Blue, Blue Sky. For those unaware, Sky Blue, right? It was Sky Blue. The name of the meth that they cooked, it was something blue. Well, I tried. Yeah, they had a name for it. That was the whole point. Heisenberg, his methamphetamine was the best. I thought it was called Sky Blue. It might have been Baby Blue. Call Belling. He was obsessed with that show. See, what? Belling never watched. All right. Get him and me on a text and say, Belling, you absolutely, he never, how is that even possible? Should I text him? Should I text? Oh, the Wire is fantastic. The Wire is an absolute. Sopranos I thought was better. Belling thought Wire was better than Sopranos. Debatable. I would say no. Tony Soprano was one of the... I only watched the first season of Mad Men, couldn't get the wife into it, and then I think we had a third kid, which sort of interrupted our, show watching stuff. Breaking Bad is outstanding. It is absolutely outstanding. It is derivative of The Sopranos. That's my only critique of it. Walter White is very clearly Tony Soprano. Jesse, Christopher Moltisanti. Skyler, Carmela Soprano. Who's the Hank, the DEA guy. Gus Fring was supposed to be like junior soprano, or possibly in later seasons, the New York mob. I can go down the list. Paul, can we get this confirmed here? I am hearing word that the Milwaukee Bucks game tonight has been moved back a half hour. The Bucks have had a difficult time getting out of New Orleans. Ironically enough, the team from Milwaukee has not faced issues with snow in Milwaukee, but they did have issues with snow in New Orleans. I'll tell you what, let's step aside for a break before we get to that sound from Governor Evers' State of the State address. We're going to try to confirm tonight's Bucks game. They are playing the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero, fellow Whitnall grad, who, of course, as a Whitnall grad, we consider him here on the Dan O'Donnell Show the greatest player in the history of NBA basketball. I believe the debate between LeBron and Michael Jordan is played out. The debate is between Tyler Hero, and really there is nobody else in second place. I kid, of course, but he's having a fantastic season. Paul, can we get that? You've got 6:30 on TNT. It got moved back. Okay, let's see. From 6:30 to 7:30, says our listener. Not good enough for me. I'm going to reach out to the Bucks because I have not yet gotten their press release. This obviously impacts a whole lot of people, and there was some concern because the Bucks team plane simply could not leave from New Orleans until much later. And not only do the players need time to get ready, there are actually, believe it or not, in the collective bargaining agreement, rules about how soon a team can play a basketball game before or after landing from a team plane. It is a difficult situation. Obviously, last night's game was canceled because of the snow in New Orleans, and the Bucks were going to ship out as soon as that game was over. Typically, when you've got back-to-backs, and a lot of times at the end of a road trip, the team will just fly back immediately after the final game because the players don't care how late they get in. They want to sleep in their own bed, unless, of course, it's one of those games that starts at like 9 p.m. Central. Sometimes they'll stay an extra night and fly out early in the morning. Well, the Bucks tried to get out, but flights were grounded because conditions in New Orleans might have gotten more snow yesterday than some parts of Wisconsin got before yesterday's snowfall here in the past month. Yes, we do now have official confirmation. Thank you so much. Paul, the game has been pushed back an hour, this according to NBA.com. NBA has postponed tonight's game between the New Orleans Pelicans. Wait, what? Paul. Okay, they postponed Wednesday night's game. What is today's date? Has postponed. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is scintillating radio. Yeah, it is 7:30 p.m. Central Time. This just came down. So the Bucks Heat game for tonight has been pushed back. 7:30 is tip-off. Some areas around New Orleans saw 11.5 inches of snow. New Orleans saw 10. And you might think, well, here in Wisconsin, well, that's really nothing. Yet they don't have plows down there because it's such a rare occurrence that there is snow. So even an inch or two of snow can cripple areas of the South. And it was quite the scene a couple of days ago to see the snowball fights on Bourbon Street. All right, so we have that cleared up. We have got a 7:30 tip-off. So if you're planning on going to see Tyler Hero, NBA superstar, and the Heat against the Bucks, hour later for tip-off, 7:30 tonight.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Northbound on 4145 got delays from Center up to past Burleigh. Southbound delays Appleton to Burleigh. Northbound on 43 got delays building Fond du Lac to Keefe, and southbound from Capitol to the Marquette. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank total traffic tip line at 414-944-5111.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
I'm Dan Voss from Cut and Go. Ugly and depressing and trees killed off by emerald ash, oak wilt, and Dutch elm disease are dangerous for friends and loved ones, even a potential liability. Slowly rotting, left-standing hardwood trees can weigh tens of thousands of pounds. Even seemingly smaller branches can weigh tens, even hundreds of pounds. With Cut and Go, there is no reason to risk injury or property damage. Live trees in precarious placement for an arborist to remove over homes, garages, commercial buildings, luxury landscapes are easily and safely laid on the ground by Cut and Go's NCCER crane-operated certified remote control automobile mounted articulating crane grapple saw operators. You can save big money and stock up on firewood by having Cut and Go put your trees on the ground for you to clean up or have a bonfire or split firewood, or we can take it all with us when we leave. A Tons of Trees movement. cutandgotrees.com. That's CUTNGO trees.com. Once again, that's cutandgotrees.com.
Okay. Well, wait, how about this one? Look, 3 bedrooms.
What's the catch?
Well, we'd have to replace the appliances.
All right.
And the style is straight out of the 80s.
Oof.
And the roof leaks.
How about a Ready Home from Belinsky Homes? They've got brand new homes in a wide variety of designs. We get all the benefits of new construction while skipping the building process. Look, just go to Belinsky.com to see all the Ready Homes available right now.
Welcome to This Week with Annex Wealth Management. I'm Dan O'Donnell alongside the CEO of Annex, Dave Spano. And this week, of course, a new president is inaugurated. A new administration takes over. That will mean new policies on trade, on markets, on taxation, on regulation. Heck, Dave, even on what we call the Gulf of Mexico. I kind of have to admit the Gulf of America has a pretty nice ring to it.
And as long as we can stay with that theme, why don't we rename it Lake Wisconsin, instead of Lake Michigan? And in fact, while we're at it, let's take the UP back as well. But that's exactly right. There's so much going on, Dan, that we're going to have to watch, and it's going to be a lot that's going to change. And for sure, at the top of that is going to be remain in Mexico, immigration plan. Certainly want to see what's going to happen with tax planning, deregulation, and the Federal Reserve. All of these are going to have a direct effect on the markets, on your pocketbook, how you plan going forward. And that really is a process of understanding where you are and where you want to be. So all of these facts and circumstances are going to change, Dan, over the next number of months. So let's stay with this. Let's stay on top of it. Make sure you know what you own, why you own it, how much you're paying for it, and exactly how to go through this process.
And the best way to do that is to head to annexwealth.com to get a review of your portfolio. It's called a wealth metric. It is absolutely free because no matter who it is that's in charge of tax policy, no matter who it is that's in charge of deregulating industries, it always comes down to how you're positioned to deal with the inevitable, and that is change in Washington, D.C., in Madison, Wisconsin, heck, somewhere in the middle of the Upper Peninsula of Wisconsin. There will always be change, and we will always be here to help you navigate it. For Dave Spano, CEO of Annex, I'm Dan O'Donnell. This is has been This Week with Annex Wealth Management.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
How do you define strength? Is it physical? Or is it mental? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's whatever empowers a person to dig deeper, fight harder, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Discover how much stronger and more confident your children can be. Encourage them to participate in a sport when they go to high school.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
To our listeners for breaking some news to us. I was keeping my eye on my email. I'm on the Bucks PR list, and I get all of their emails when they announce things like changes to a time of game. This one is a little different because the Bucks were unable to take off this morning from New Orleans' airport, which was snowed in. They were supposed to play the Pelicans last night. That game has been rescheduled. A date for the game yet to be announced. They were stuck in New Orleans until this afternoon. They were scheduled to play at 6:30 Central Time at Fiserv Forum against the Miami Heat. And yes, I am standing by my guns. Tyler Hero is the best player in the NBA. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that we're both proud graduates of Whitnall High School. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. It's not, me showing love to a fellow Whitnall grad. Nope. He's better than Jordan. He's better than LeBron. He's better than Magic Johnson. He's better than Giannis. He is going to set every record. No, it's just everybody who graduated from Whitnall, every member of the Whitnall community is just extremely proud of Tyler Hero. And it still blows my mind that someone from Whitnall High School is not just in the NBA, but he's a borderline all-star this year. And I think he deserves to be on the NBA's Eastern Conference all-star squad for whenever they do the pickup games or whatever remarkably stupid thing that they've done to the All-Star. Can you just treat it like a normal game? Like, just don't turn it into a dunk contest and you fix the All-Star. It's the same thing with the Pro Bowl. Now, football, I get, is a little different because you don't want anybody getting injured in an All-Star game that doesn't count. But that game sucked so bad, they just replaced it altogether with, like, pillow fighting, dodgeball, and flag football. Pillow fighting I might have made up. Governor Evers delivered his State of the State address last night and took credit for others' work.
Wisconsinites, I begin tonight with good news. Thanks to our work cutting taxes, Wisconsinites are keeping more of your hard-earned income today than any point in the last 50 years.
Yeah, that's because of the Republican legislature. Governor Evers wanted to veto the budget where Republicans included tax relief for so many people. And he was actually asked, Governor Evers, you're now touting this budget as your own. You're now touting the tax cuts. How do you justify that? He said, well, I could have vetoed the budget, but I didn't. No real surprise that this guy plagiarized pretty much every education plan that he put forward when he was state superintendent. But the biggest takeaway from Governor Evers' State of the State address was not the platitudes about all the stuff he did and all the stuff we want to do moving forward, but rather his declaring this to be the year of the kid. What he meant by that is not necessarily pumping more money into K-12 education that is most definitely not needed as we face declining enrollment year after year after year. But he wants to put way more money into kids' lives outside of the classroom, and he explained
Why?
We have to do more to improve outcomes for our kids. And yes, that means making meaningful investments in our public schools. But our kids' outcomes are as much a reflection of what happens within our schools as they are, importantly, a reflection of what happens beyond them. And that's a simple matter of math. The average Wisconsin elementary student, for example, spends less than 12% of their year receiving direct instruction in the classroom. That means that they probably spend, give or take, about 80% of their time of the year outside of our schools.
Okay, so what he's saying is we need to invest more in those kids' lives for the 80%. Now, it took me a while to get around that math. I watched that section of the speech like 3 times this afternoon. I said, wait a second, 80% plus 12% equals 92%. I think what he was saying is the kids spend 20% of their day in school, but only 12% getting direct instruction, the other 8% recess, lunch, getting sermonized about LGBT issues and transgender nonsense, whatever else it is. But they're only spending 12%. 80% of the day, they're not under the care of the schools. He then goes through a long laundry list of things the state needs to do for kids and families that apparently he doesn't believe they're capable of doing themselves. And herein lies the ultimate flaw in liberal logic. They believe that the state, that the government needs to be central in people's lives. So central, in fact, that parents no longer have any real responsibility to feed, to clothe, or to provide a roof over their children's heads.
Whether or not kids and families have access to safe, reliable housing affects kids at school. Whether or not kids and families have a way to safely and efficiently travel to and from home and work affects kids at school. Living in a traumatic or unsafe home environment affects kids at school. Lack of access to preventive health care and dental care and eye care affects kids at school. The state cannot continue to shirk responsibility for the 80% of time our kids are not in our classrooms. That 80% falls on us.
You know, or, I don't know, their parents. This is so central to liberal thought that to understand this is to understand nanny state liberalism in toto. He's not talking, folks, about white suburban high-performing school districts. He's rather obviously talking about inner city, usually black and brown families. And the presupposition for white liberals like Evers is always that they are so incapable of doing this that we white liberals need to do this for them. That the concept of taking care of one's family is simply too much for people, primarily, again, black and brown in inner cities, and therefore the state, again, populated primarily by white liberals like Tony Evers and the members of his staff, we need to take over the role of parent. This is where the concept of the nanny state comes from. I've always bristled at this because, ironically, the party that says we are totes not racist has the most racist worldview of all. When it's the responsibility of politicians and not parents, not guardians, grandparents, elder siblings, aunts, uncles, this has caused essentially the fundamental breakdown of the American family. When we got away from the thinking, and this can be traced back largely to LBJ's Great Society programs of the late 1960s, the welfare idea that if we just pay people, they'll go back to work and the nuclear family will be just fine. This led to the destruction of a whole lot of black families as it incentivized for people of all races the idea that you don't need a man. And this coincided with the era of sexual free love and irresponsibility. And people were having kids, not being able to take care of them, but then saying, oh, wait, never mind, the government will just pay for them. That's what underpinned the rise of not only the single-parent family, the breakdown of the nuclear family, but you also had people who were dependent not on one another for subsistence, but dependent upon government. This created generation after generation after generation of total dependency, and Evers is now saying we need to do more. We need to, and Wisconsin, by the way, Milwaukee in particular, was a magnet for people to move to in the era of the Great Migration from the South because of its generous welfare package. So what Evers is saying, like the great socialist mayors of Milwaukee's past, like the Democrat governors who dramatically expanded Wisconsin's welfare state, we need to take over even more aspects of people's lives. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the fundamental misinterpretation on the left of the proper role of government that sort of underpins all of their bad decisions when it comes to government.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Lynn Chevrolet of Kenosha Total Traffic Center, got a crash on the Hale Interchange southbound 894 ramp to the southbound Rock Freeway. And then on the Mitchell Interchange, you got a stalled vehicle on the eastbound 894 ramp to 4194 southbound. If you see any issues, call the Total Traffic Tip line at 414-944-5111. I'm Kevin Henry.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
If you already know football or you want to learn more, listen to the Mark Belling Football Preview and Picking Contest every week on News Talk 1130 WISN. Mark, along with football handicapping expert Mike Merlette, dissect the most interesting games. Plus, a listener can pick a game for a chance to win a $100 gift card.
The Mark Belling Football Preview and Picking Contest is presented by Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac, featuring hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles, plus impeccable customer service. It's worth the trip. HolidayAutomotive.com.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2896. That's 844-763-2896. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Are you ready to upgrade to a great glass shower door? It's the perfect time, and the best place to call is Bob's Glass in Waukesha. Bob's Glass carries a great line of options. Frameless, semi-frameless, sliding or stationary, clear, pattern, all perfectly sized and installed because Bob's will do a measurement and give you a quote that won't change before installation day. Bob's Glass services all of southeastern Wisconsin and does anything glass, including replacing thermopanes. See bobs-glass.com. Bobs-glass.com. If it's glass, Bob's Glass.
I'm Total Health's Jay Johnson, the Falls and New Berlin. Remember looking forward to playing with your kids or grandkids and having the energy to? At Total Health, we hear it all the time. People say I'm too tired and worn out to be the person my spouse married or parent or grandparent my family deserves. Sound familiar? Total Health naturopaths find root causes of fatigue and lethargy, then treat you, the whole person, restoring energy and overall wellness. It could be dietary or thyroid function, or maybe you just need to drop some weight. Big Medicine's weight loss injection causing stomach, gallbladder, intestinal, and vascular problems works for them. Sick people are profitable. If excess weight is a contributing factor to you not feeling your best, Total Health naturopaths will never judge you. We'll be honest, providing the tools and motivation to lose weight. Then we'll be with you throughout your journey to feeling happy, healthier, energetic, and well. Be that person your family deserves. It's not theory. Relativity equals expertise plus execution. TotalHealthInc.com. That's TotalHealthInc.com.
When you've made the choice to buy the industry's best, Marvin replacement windows, find them at Wisconsin's largest Marvin window dealer. Your clear choice for more, Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
Your clear choice for more, Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
The big game's almost here. That means it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, which is the best place to cash in while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game where one of the starting quarterbacks only needs to throw a single yard for you to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat, you can win real cash. Hey, I'm Benjamin Yonton. How long have we been talking about playing daily fantasy sports over at Prize Picks? It is the best place to turn your football knowledge into a real payday. You could win up to 1,000 times your money, and now you could win even more. Check out the promo tab to tail any of these super sweet Millie Winners big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of $1 million in promo funds. And Prize Picks puts members first, so all withdrawals are fast and safe. All you do, download the Prize Picks app and use my code Radio11. That's code Radio11. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com. Show the coupon at the pharmacy and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Hey you guys, I'm Catherine Legg. I'm a racing driver who's literally driven everything with 4 wheels across the planet. And I've got a new podcast. It's called Throttle Therapy. This season, I'm gearing up to make history, competing in some of the world's most notorious racing events. Listen to Throttle Therapy with Catherine Legg on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Throttle Therapy with Catherine Legg and start listening.
Presented by Elf Beauty, founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports.
Tour de force of truth. The sort of truth the rest of the media used to report. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. I say they used to report. Now they are, at least the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, I think they just Do you realize I was talking about their ongoing jihad against, I don't know if they think this is going to be a jihad against me, because all of these insane libs are blaming me for getting the weather girl fired from CBS 58. But they have now posted a poll, like a detailed poll where you can go on jsonline.com. A listener pointed this out to me. And they have like detailed questions about whether you think CBS 58 was right to fire the foul-mouthed weather girl who was spreading misinformation about Elon Musk making a Nazi salute. I don't know if they think they're white knighting. Do you know what the phrase white knighting means, Paul? It means when a dude jumps to the defense of a woman, usually a younger woman, usually an attractive young woman. I'm not going to speculate on motive there, but I don't know. If it was, who's a weather guy? All the weather guys I know are long retired, like Jim Ott. If it was Jim Ott that was posting, well, first of all, Jim Ott was about the most wonderful, down-to-earth, good-natured human beings I have ever. I worked with him for a few years. He, Paul Joseph, John Milan, some of the kindest men I have ever known. Paul Zant, unfortunately, God rest his soul, he passed away, I believe, a few years back. Yeah, he had cancer, I believe. Those were some of the just best men I have ever known in my entire life. Just good men. Jim Ott especially. I got to know him a little bit better through politics. He was a Republican assemblyman. But just imagine if, like, Jim Ott was posting what would be like a crazy right-wing thing that you could post that would get you. Well, see, the difference is Republicans know that they can't post any of this stuff lest they get canceled immediately. Yeah, whatever it is, Paul, whatever. He wouldn't. And that's sort of the point. But would the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, would they be leaping to Republican weatherman Jim Ott's defense like they are? It's actually quite comical. They have bumped this up to their national paper. USA Today has a big story. The New York Post has now followed up. And I don't know if it's because they think this is some grave injustice that a TV station doesn't want its weather girl posting bleep Elon Musk and bleep you too if, you bleep with him or whatever it was. I think she said, if you bleep with this guy, I don't bleep with you, which was the direct quote. They just want you to report the weather, okay? Like, it is, and I'll tell you why it brings out just the crazy nutbags. Do you think there is a left-winger alive who would be able, for example, we are going to discuss President Trump's Birthright citizenship executive action. Do you think there's a left-winger alive who could possibly argue that nuanced point with me? The 1898 Supreme Court decision that very well could be revisited as the result of a federal court's action today? No, probably not. Could they have a substantive discussion about Wisconsin tax policy? No, of course not. But I know Elon made the Nazi thing, and Dan O'Donnell's defending Nazis. You see, it's a low-hanging fruit. It's a topic that everybody can have an opinion on, completely devoid of any sort of intellectual substance behind it. We have more from Governor Evers' State of the State address. We will get into that debate on birthright citizenship and why I think the Supreme Court actually is going to intervene and probably does need to intervene to settle this question about what the authors of the 14th Amendment actually intended, plus the unsung hero of the day, all coming up next.
We'll be right back. Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Bit over 20 minutes on either side of your 94 trip. Eastbound, you got delays starting at the Zoo interchange and clearing up after 25th Street. Your westbound trip jammed from the Marquette to past the stadium. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank total traffic tip line at 414-944-5111. I'm Kevin Henry.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
So the Donahos invited us to dinner.
Hang on, honey. Hello?
Hi, this is Lori from First American Bank.
Whoa, honey, it's the bank. Listen to how real this AI voice sounds.
Hello?
Yes, hello. I'm calling about your First American Bank home equity line of credit application.
That is free.
Right? What do I press for? Representative.
Oh, you don't press anything. I'm a real person.
Now it's claiming to be a real person.
Wow.
Sir, along with First American Bank's best loan deals in town, we pride ourselves on providing impeccable personal service. That's why you get me, a real-life specialist, to help you every step of the way with your loan. Isn't that more useful than passing you off to an artificial intelligence chatbot?
What's 2 times 2?
4.
Who created the Dewey Decimal System?
Melville Dewey.
Limburger sandwich or cheese curds?
Oh, you're not dragging me into that one.
First American Bank, the bank that does more for your money. Visit firstandbank.com.
or call us at 262-577-2400. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Elmbrook Family Dental's third location is now open in the new Mayfair Medical Commons. It's at 800 North Mayfair Road in Tosa. Elmbrook Family Dental is a group of forward-thinking dentists who cover all aspects of general dentistry, including TMJ management and implants, even Invisalign. One new offering is soft tissue therapy and cold sore treatments. Elmbrook Family dentists and hygienists pride themselves on using the latest tools and technology available and on putting patients first. They're relaxed, anxiety-free dental offices with all sorts of small comforts to create a more pleasant experience, as patient Jennifer attests. She had bad anxiety when it came to the dentist and says Elmbrook Family Dental had a calming effect I didn't know a dental office could have. She says the hygienist I had was wonderful. She walked me through everything she did. I've never had that kind of experience in the past. Jennifer says the office gets a 5-star rating from me because they were kind and understanding and considered my feelings. They also do great work. Elmbrook Family Dental is an in-network preferred provider for most dental insurance groups, too. See elmbrookfamilydental.com. elmbrookfamilydental.com.
With nearly 50 years of experience, my dad, Jim Mullally, has taught my cousin Mark everything he knows. In fact, he bestowed so much expertise onto Mark that Mark went to New York to compete against the top furniture finishers in the country. And you know what? He won. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com. The bulk of our business is in wood furniture restoration. We found that there are a lot of folks out there with antique furniture and heirloom pieces that are in good shape, but just need to be brought back to life again. Well, that's our specialty. And right here in Mequon, you'll find one of the country's top furniture finishers. So if you want only the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's. Marketing in modern business means finding and serving your customers 24/7 wherever they are. WISN broadcasts are a powerful platform, but there's so much more. WISN's online digital tools are completely customizable, so you can reach your ideal customer through the iHeart app or by using software that actually finds your customers at a specific location or event. These tools are precise, efficient, measurable marketing weapons that you need to use. Combine the power and clout of WISN's broadcast and digital platforms right now. Go to newstalk1130.com, keyword digital.
The talk shows on WISN Radio. Not for the faint of heart and not for the feeble of mind. News Talk 1130 WISN. Fact is, until you've heard us, you haven't heard the whole story.
Conservative thought, not just talk. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show, and you know what time it is. We are off. Now, especially today, especially a couple of days after Donald Trump was inaugurated for a second term, the left is at a crossroads. It can go down one of two ways. It can go utterly unhinged, like it is with the firing of a meteorologist from CBS 58, or it can choose positivity. It can choose the path of light. And today's unsung hero of the day is helping the left do just that. With quite possibly the biggest hit of 2025. It is Molly Gawler singing the BIPOC song.
Black and indigenous people of color,
Black and indigenous.
Sing it, Molly.
People of color. Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer. Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender.
That's her
and
slapping
queer.
her chest
Asian
to keep the beat.
American Pacific Islander. Asian American Pacific Islander. Latino, Hispanic, Romani, and Creole. Latino, Hispanic, Romani, and Creole. We all have a place in this world.
Except the whites.
We all have a place in this world.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, for the first and quite possibly only time, the unhinged liberal of the day is also the unsung hero of the day. Liberals, please follow Molly Gawler's example. She just wants to coexist with all of the peoples of the world, except the whites. Except the whites. Straight whites especially, but whites generally. She doesn't bleep with them, to borrow a meteorologist's now famous phrase. If you bleep with the whites, Molly Gawler doesn't bleep with you, but her anthem can be a shining beacon of light for modern-day liberals. Yes, I do have the video. It is hilarious. It is posted at Dan O'Donnell Show on X. We will be right back with more of the show after this.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Michaels. At last night's State of the State address, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers said that he wants to enact what he calls common sense gun legislation in Wisconsin that wouldn't interfere with the state's culture of hunting.
No one wants to change this proud part of our heritage, and we won't. But we do not have to choose between respecting a Second Amendment or keeping kids, schools, and streets and communities safe. We can do both.
In response, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos said he hopes Evers is serious about finding common ground with legislative Republicans on a host of issues.
The speech tonight was Governor Evers' 7th State of the State address, where he largely delivered the same tired rhetoric he's presented the other 6 times he's given this same speech. Year after year, we hear the same lip service about wanting to work together, and then, unfortunately, he rarely follows through.
And while the temps are warming up at least a little bit, we did get more snow than originally forecast in the last 24 hours. Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
We did end up seeing a few inches worth of snowfall last night. The snow really ramped up yesterday evening. Milwaukee about 1.4, but you can see there were a handful of communities, including Waukesha, that area too, between 2 and about 3 inches of snowfall.
Checking the Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac Sports Scoreboard, tonight's Bucks Heat game at Fiserv Forum has been pushed back an hour. Originally was set to tip off at 6:30. Now it'll get going at 7:30 tonight. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, WISN News Center, I'm Dave Michaels on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast, presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
A few early snow showers and some blowing snow, and then the sun takes over this afternoon, high near 22. Overnight tonight, we'll drop back down into the single digits, and from there, low 20s again tomorrow. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on America's most dependable 5G network. Switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
Sun, 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 fun, fun, fun. Sun, 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 every kind of boat under the sun.
That boat show music is back, and so is Wisconsin's largest boat show. Everything from family runabouts, ski and surf boats, fishing boats, luxury pontoons, and more Great Lakes cruisers and motor yachts. Get that boat and get that deal. Shop for skis, boards, and tubes at the Tubers Truckload Sale. Check MilwaukeeBoatShow.com. January 17 through 26, State Fair Park. Closed Monday and Tuesday.
I'm Dave Brownsdorf, president of Flawless Flooring. Realtor.com
Flooring.com says depending on location and a few other factors, new hardwood floors add as much as 2.5% to a home sale value, even if you plan to sell. Enjoy home more now while increasing your sale price with Flawless's LVP, hardwood, or amazing realistic, super wear-resistant modern laminate plank. Steamy wet dog and litter box aromas bother homeowners and buyers. But you say, Dave, we want the sound deadening and warmth underfoot of carpet? Our Delafield and New Berlin showrooms have countless style and combination flooring choices, including quality luxury carpet lines. Steamy stains and carpet stink, including pet fluids, wipe off flawless floorings, luxury vinyl plank, and modern laminate plank, zero steam effortlessly. Our employee-only craftsmen meticulously refinish existing hardwood, even perfectly blending additional hardwood with existing. With Flawless's nothing down, zero interest financing, upgrade today and pay over 21 months. Sensory underload, Flawless Flooring. FlawlessFlooringLLC.com.
During your career, investments piled up. From 401ks to brokerage accounts, it turned into quite a collection. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. We've analyzed thousands. Some reflect diligence and fortitude. Others, a mishmash of overlapping investments. When Annex reviews a portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. That's our story. Head to AnnexWealth.com.
Slipping on the ice?
Ugh.
Someone else shoveling your driveway.
Ah.
Cold feet?
Ugh.
Toasty tootsies.
Ah.
Waking up to a cold house?
Ugh.
With no warm air coming from the register.
Ugh.
And discovering your antiquated furnace is DOA.
Ugh.
But now, this is you learning that Mr. Holland's Home Services can install a new, fully warranted, highly efficient comfort system.
Ah.
Better yet, you can enjoy consistent, cozy comfort with payments as low as $79 a month with approved credit.
Ah.
Because you deserve it.
Ah.
If your failing furnace is showing signs of old age, be proactive. Call Mr. Holland's Home Services to schedule the installation of your brand new, fully functional comfort system for a low monthly rate. And take your winter from
Ugh.
to 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Ready to put some thaw in your We can help.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
WISN.
Big taxers, big spenders, political cronies, global warming alarmists, charlatans, liars, scam artists, and feeders at the public trough. The threats to your happiness are many, but that's where we can help. News Talk 1130 WISN. Our truth shall keep you free.
Coal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor. Call 262-522-4040.
News about you and your money. The business report from the Coal Investment Group.
Good afternoon. This is Alyssa Johnson with your closing business report. The major averages closed higher today with the S&P 500 hitting a new record high as investors digested remarks from President Trump, who addressed the World Economic Forum in Davos, where he demanded that interest rates drop immediately. Meanwhile, earnings season continues its strong start. Shares of GE Aerospace climbed over 6% after the company posted fourth quarter results that beat analyst estimates on both earnings and revenue. At the close, the Dow was up 408 points, the S&P was up 32, and the NASDAQ was up 44. The new year is the perfect time to meet with one of our fiduciary advisors to review your financial plan. To get started, visit thecowalway.com or call 262-522-4040.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
The golden age of America begins right now.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Coming up in about 20 minutes or so, it is the Mark Belling football preview and picking contest here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. We will get picks from Mark, Mike Merlette, Paul, and an audience contestant. You know what? I think I've got to pull rank at some point. I'm the host of the darn show now. I don't get to pick? I don't really bet on football. the extent of my gambling, I go to Las Vegas with some friends once a year, which is always a great time. And, you know, I like to play craps. I'll play blackjack. The once in a blue moon that I'll be at Potawatomi, I'll play video poker, or maybe I'll play some blackjack. I don't really gamble that much. I don't think outside of like a $5 bet with friends, or you're in Vegas and you're sitting down at the sports book, I don't think I've ever really bet on sports. It's just never been something that interested me, which is weird because I'm super into sports. I think it's because I had children relatively young, and when I wasn't making very much money and had absolutely no spare money to be throwing on the Detroit Lions to cover 8.5. Yeah, I never did. It's never been my thing. I've never been good at handicapping games. That said, what do we have for some spreads right now? Eagles 6 over the Commanders. That's looking real tempting. The theory being that Cinderella eventually turns into a pumpkin. I just don't think Washington is that good, but they're also the hot team right now. Philadelphia's defense is so good. They get, but Jaden Daniels has looked very, very good against pressure. We'll discuss with Mike Merlette. We will be looking for a new audience contestant. So when we call for you, be ready, and you could win yourself a $100 gift card. We do have $1,000 on the line right now. I always hate Thursdays. You have so many pieces of paper here. I'm like, it's like when it's the regular season or the first week of the play, the lines with all of the college football bowl games, I had probably 15 pieces of paper. It was like you printed out a copy of the Constitution. We will discuss President Trump's Birthright citizenship executive order and why today we might have just had the biggest victory conservatives could have hoped for on this issue. The left just doesn't realize it yet. I will explain in a second. Cold hard cash contest word this hour, though, right now is check. CHECK, check. You have got until 55 past the hour to go to our website and enter the keyword check to enter the contest for this hour. If your entry is picked at random, you will win $1,000 in cash instantly. President Trump, on Inauguration Day, Monday, signed an executive order that ends birthright citizenship for children born to illegal immigrants that happen to be born on American soil. This is in direct contradiction to the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, which provides, quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. That is about as straightforward as it gets. An executive action cannot supersede the Constitution. We have something in the Constitution called the Supremacy Clause, and that means that states simply the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Sitting directly underneath the Constitution, federal laws, underneath state laws, and underneath that, municipal ordinances. A municipal ordinance cannot contradict state law. A state law cannot contradict federal law. A federal law cannot contradict the Constitution. A federal action cannot go against the United States Constitution. So why did Trump do it? My guess is to get exactly what he got today. A federal judge in Seattle threw out Trump's executive order as, well, violating the Constitution, the plain meaning of the 14th Amendment. But is the 14th Amendment's plain meaning all that plain? On its face, it would seem yes. But a lot of people are hung up on the phrase, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. in that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. The thinking goes, and the legal argument goes, well, illegal immigrants are not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States because they're not citizens. Well, okay, what happens if an illegal immigrant is caught committing a crime? Are they subject to the jurisdiction of the United States? Yes, they very clearly are, because the jurisdiction of the United States and the state which they reside in would be able to arrest them. They're clearly subject to the jurisdiction. And a lot of people forget, and I have been inundated with all manner of tortured explanations for why United States v. Wong Kim Ark is not valid case law. All of them fall short. United States v. Wong Kim Ark. Remember that, because you are likely to hear a lot of this case. Wong Kim Ark. It is a United States Supreme Court case from 1898. It was a challenge to the 14th Amendment's Birthright citizenship clause because of something that was in place at the time called the Chinese Exclusion Act. Now, Wong Kim Ark was born in San Francisco in 1873. He went on a trip and then tried to get back into the United States and was not allowed because of the Chinese Exclusion Act. Do you know what the Chinese Exclusion Act was? It was signed into law in like the early 1800s, and it basically prohibited all immigrant Chinese laborers for a period of 10 years. The idea was we already have enough of them. You can't come in if you're from China. There were some exceptions, but for the most part, Chinese were excluded, hence the name, the Chinese Exclusion Act. So Wong Kim Ark tries to get back in the country. He's not allowed. And he challenges this law. He challenges this because he says, look, I'm an American citizen. I was born here, and the plain language of the 14th Amendment allows me to come back in. The majority agreed with him that any person who is born in the United States is automatically subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, because as soon as that person, what happens to that person? They are logged. They are subject to the rules of the United States at the moment they are born. They whether or not they're legal or illegal, their birth is marked. The subject to the jurisdiction thereof, in other words, only applies to, can you guess where there would be an exclusion? Who would be in the United States but not at all subject to the jurisdiction of the United States? I'll give you a hint. It was a major plot point in the movie Lethal Weapon 2. Not German nationals specifically, Paul, or generally diplomats. Yes, it was the guy who had diplomatic immunity. So if you are, Paul goes, that blonde-haired jerk, you're a blonde-haired jerk in there. And Kronforce, that's got to be of German heritage, right? Yeah, it's all German. I was going to say, anytime the name starts with a K and has the sound Orst in it, I'm just going to take a wild guess that it's German. So if a diplomat has a child on American soil, that child is not an American citizen because the diplomat is not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. And what Wong Kim Ark determined is that so long as someone is not subject to another jurisdiction, and there are very few limits on this, that person is automatically an American citizen. It is a legal concept. The Latin is like jus soli, I believe it's called. It's the law of the land, or there's the law of the blood, and I forget what that one is in Latin, or the law of the land. And the law of the blood, some countries say, okay, if your parents are citizens, You are a citizen too, regardless of where you're born, and we have that too, but we also foolishly have the law of the land. Wong Kim Ark is controlling precedent, but it might not be. Clearly, the framers of the 14th Amendment could not have anticipated the massive wave of people coming in 2020 to 2025. The abuse of birthright citizenship. Wong Kim Ark, therefore, theoretically could be overturned. It's a decision that might not have a place in modern America, and it might be incorrectly decided. I'm not disagreeing with that. I do agree, however, that the judge's ruling is controlling. This is controlling precedent, and not only that, it is correct. It is the legally correct ruling in accordance with the controlling precedent set by Wong Kim Ark. I'm just trying to see how many times I can say Wong Kim Ark in one given radio segment. But it is accurate. Now, here is where things get interesting. Now that this case is in the federal court system, the Trump administration can appeal it. And it can appeal it all the way to the United States Supreme Court, which can certainly overturn Wong Kim Ark and rule that the intent, and in fact, the case law leading up to Wong Kim Ark was actually pretty sympathetic to the idea that someone who just kind of is randomly here and has a kid, that kid doesn't automatically get citizenship. The slaughterhouse cases it's a very famous series of cases that indirectly deals with this. And I believe both the dissent and the majority in dicta, not in the ruling, but in just kind of random stuff that they say. It's not part of the whole. It's a long legal nerd thing. But it wasn't controlling precedent. They actually said, yeah, you know, this clearly didn't apply to people who just kind of come here, have a baby, and then get to stay because the baby's an American citizen. In other words, it is my very strong belief that Trump made this executive order knowing full well that some lefty judge somewhere would not be able to help themselves, and they would overturn it. Therefore, the Trump administration can appeal this all the way up to the Supreme Court, where there's a 6-3 conservative majority. Now, I have no idea how they'll rule, but I can tell you they're likely to be far more sympathetic to the argument that the birthright citizenship amendment, or the clause in the 14th Amendment, was designed to, it was for freed slaves. This had nothing to do with people who have birth tourism or people who have anchor babies to come here and think that they can stay forever. It was entirely, the whole context was for freed slaves. You can't deny somebody citizenship to a state or to the United States because they were born a slave and they were a piece of property under the laws of Democrat-controlled states, I might add. Republicans were the ones who freed the slaves. Democrats fought a civil war to try to keep their slaves. So birthright citizenship is certainly something that could be challenged. The left couldn't help itself. If they would have just, okay, 4 years, this is the law of the land, all right, just wrote it out, just put a little pause on the new voter registration project, the largest voter registration drive down at the southern border, they would have been fine. This would have never got to the court system. And the second Wong Kim Ark goes down, birthright citizenship is done. The concept, at least, of birthright citizenship for the children of illegal immigrants. You could make an argument, and I guess Mark Levin on his show the last couple of nights has been trying to make that argument. I believe he's incorrect because Wong Kim Ark is controlling precedent. There's just no way to get around that. But now you can. Now you can overturn Wong Kim Ark. Something is controlling precedent until it's not. Roe v. Wade was controlling precedent for 50 years until it was overturned. And Governor Evers lamenting, it would have been the 52nd anniversary of Roe v. Wade last night when he gave his State of the State address. By the way, he said he's going to fight so hard for abortion rights. He's going to fight so hard. You know what? We have some time on this, don't we? I want to get to this, and I want to make sure we get to, we don't have that soundbite up anymore. That's okay. That's it. Don't worry about it, Paul. Don't worry about it, Paul. I don't need the soundbite to tell the story. Evers got the most thunderous round of applause of the night in his State of the State address last night when he said, I'm going to fight like hell to give women the right to choose. Paul doing his job right before he goes on break. I fought like hell
to make sure Wisconsin women have the freedom to make their own reproductive health care decisions without interference from politics. Without interference from politicians in this building who know nothing about their life, their faith, or their circumstances, and I fought like hell to restore access to safe, legal abortion in Wisconsin. And on the 52nd anniversary of Roe v. Wade, I'll tell you tonight that I'll fight like hell against every effort and veto any bill that makes access to abortion.
All right, I don't need to listen to the rest of this. Neither do you, honestly. What is the problem with this logic? Wisconsin could have a right to an abortion right now, today. There is currently a case that is before the Wisconsin Supreme Court and has been before the Wisconsin Supreme Court for quite some time that would do just that. The four liberals who control the court, however, didn't even schedule oral arguments in this case until after the presidential election and are almost certainly not going to decide the fate of Wisconsin's 1849 abortion law before the April election, in which they're trying to get another lib on the court to replace the retiring Justice Ann Walsh Bradley. Brad Schimmel is the only thing that stands in the way. Great judge, great attorney general. He would be a great Supreme Court justice. He's the only thing that stands in the way of that lib, Susan Crawford, continuing the liberal majority. They could have ruled on this instantly. They could have taken a direct appeal of the Wisconsin law in 2022. Why didn't they? Well, because they didn't have the majority then. But as soon as Janet Protasewicz ascended to the state's high court, giving liberals a 4-3 majority, they could have taken this case, but they didn't. Why not? Because they wanted the wedge issue for the presidential election. Why aren't they deciding it now? Because they want the wedge issue for the Supreme Court election. This is how disingenuous these people are when they talk about abortion rights. And in fact, all of you women who think you're going to be forced into back alleys with coat hangers because of troglodyte Republican men, you should be asking yourself, why are the four women who constitute the liberal majority on the Wisconsin Supreme Court refusing to give you the access to health care that you deserve? It's almost like they care more about the politics of the abortion issue than the women's health care aspect of it. We will get to the Mark Belling football preview and picking contest with Mike Merlette coming up next here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
It's time for Rapid Traffic.
Got 15 minutes on your southbound 4145 trip from Good Hope down to the zoo. About 2 minutes more over on 43 southbound. 94 eastbound is 20 from Moreland to the Marquette. Westbound 17 minutes. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank total traffic tip line at 414-944-5111. I'm Kevin Henry.
This report is sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of unlimited data for just $25 a month on America's most dependable 5G network. Switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
The recent wildfires that ravaged Los Angeles now account for one of the largest disasters in the history of our country. Now, iHeartRadio is bringing you an historic fundraising event.
The Fire Aid Benefit Concert.
Live in Los Angeles.
Donate today at fireaidla.org.
Join us January 30th.
Listen live to the Hit Nation station on the free iHeartRadio app, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern.
And show your support for the people in need in Los Angeles.
Hi, it's Rob Radisky here, a veteran designer at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart, and we're inviting you to come take a look at the fully built kitchens and baths in our sprawling 18,000 square foot showroom. It's truly one of a kind, and while showcasing the special attention to detail we put into our work as designers, this enormous showroom gives you the opportunity to envision real possibilities for your home. For almost 75 years, the dedicated team at Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has created kitchen and bathroom remodels that have set us apart as the best. We create kitchens that balance style and efficiency. The same goes for bathrooms too. See the full displays in our 18,000 square foot showroom. With our wide selection of flooring, Play-Doh custom cabinetry, appliances, and countertops, you'll get everything you need in one spot. For a free consult and more info, visit wisconsinkitchenmart.com or visit our showroom to see for yourself. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
I'm Dan Small. Join me and Jeff Kelm for Outdoors Radio, Saturday mornings at 6 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Brought to you by the Range of Richfield, the ultimate shooting experience on Helson Drive in Richfield and online at therangewi.com.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Get 50% off all windows plus no interest or payments for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
Save big money with these great deals going on now at Menards. Stock up with paint roller covers, just $1.99. Windshield washer fluid, also just $1.99. Clean up with a big jug of bleach, only $2.29. These great deals won't last long, so save today. Prices good through January 26th. Plus, sign up for Menards emails to get more big savings right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
For safe, purified water right from your faucet, the solution is crystal clear.
Any project, big or small, when it comes to water, one call does it all. S&K, pump and plumbing.
You know, the new year is a great time to reconsider how we do things, like how to make things better in 2025. Like when it comes to the whole struggle of how to pay for your health care, people generally are not happy with the status quo. But there's good news. There's a much better option, and it's proven too. MediShare is refreshing. You can save thousands of dollars a year. Many save up to $500 a month, seriously. And you get to choose from a huge network of doctors and providers. And maybe the best part, and we know this from research on why people join MediShare, they love this. Instead of sending your money every month to a huge corporation that might fund all sorts of procedures or things you don't believe in, you're joining a faith-based network of people who actually care about each other. And like I said, that's refreshing. There is a better option. You don't have to do it the way you've always done it. You can make a change and start saving now. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. Call 866-89-BIBLE. That's 866-89-BIBLE. 866-89-BIBLE.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Welcome back to the Dan O'Donnell Show. The Mark Belling Football Preview and Picking Contest is presented by Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac. Hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles all in one location. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip. We bring in Mike Merlette of American Sports Analysts, ASAwins.com. AFC and NFC championship games are set. It is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Washington Commanders and the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Buffalo Bills. Last week, both you and Mark pushed picking the Eagles over the Rams. It was exactly a 6-point game. Paul won with his pick of the Bills over the Ravens. Our audience contestant lost picking the Lions over Washington. That means we are looking for another contestant. We'll get one of those in just a second. Mike, which game do you prefer this week? Not necessarily from a gambling perspective, but which do you think is going to be the better game?
I think the later game, the Buffalo-Kansas City game.
Yeah, me too.
Those are two best teams in the AFC besides Baltimore. I mean, there's three teams in the AFC that stood out, and those were two of them, obviously. A couple of interesting notes on this. The line open, Kansas City won. It's up to 1.5 and 2 at some spots. It's the 7th straight AFC championship game for Kansas City. And this doesn't matter gambling, anything. This is the interesting note. This is the 14th straight AFC championship game with either Mahomes or Brady at quarterback.
Yeah.
14 straight.
Yeah. I was going to say, man, it is so unprecedented. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, 7 straight AFC championship games. Until you consider, didn't the Patriots do it 8 straight times with Tom Brady?
The Patriots have the record, yeah.
Patriots have the record 8 straight times that they have been in the AFC. I mean, it's amazing how dominant those two franchises have been this century. Clearly, the Kansas City Chiefs are the dynasty of the moment. I guess, given the home field advantage, I would give them a slight edge. Buffalo had a much more difficult time, an emotional win over Baltimore last week. You feel bad again, as I said earlier in the show, for Mark Andrews, the fumble, and then the big mistake dropping the 2-point conversion. But Buffalo gets out of there. It's a snow game. It's an emotional game. It's a hard-fought game. And Kansas City kind of has an easy time getting out of the divisional round. You've got to figure they're a little bit more rested, and obviously with home field advantage, they've been here before 7 straight times, in fact. You got to think the edge is with Kansas City, but that said, Buffalo is so talented, this is essentially a pick'em game.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with the line opening up 1 and getting up to 1.5 and 2. People thinking the same thing. I think Buffalo's the better overall team. But Kansas City just keeps winning games that it's crazy. Both these teams got outplayed last week. Buffalo got really outplayed. Yeah. They average about 2.5 yards per play less than Baltimore, but Baltimore had 3 turnovers. Now the Kansas City game, if you look at the stats, I have no idea how Kansas City won the game. I'll be honest with you. The Kansas City was outgained by 124 yards. They were outgained by 1 yard per play. They were outrushed 5.1 to 2.3 yards per carry, and Houston had 0 turnovers, and Kansas City still won. In fact, this is the first time in the history of the NFL playoffs that a team has outgained another team by 100 or more yards and had 0 turnovers and lost. It was 49-0 prior to last week, and somehow Kansas City made it 49-1, gave Houston the loss, and that's how Kansas City wins. I mean, they win close games. They have 9 wins this year, Dan, where they didn't cover the spread. That is very in fact, that's the most since 1970. Usually when teams win, they cover the spread most of the time, but Kansas City, higher spreads, and they win close games. So they figure out a way to win games. I give them the slight advantage here, which is what the spread says.
Philadelphia Eagles looked very, very good last week. They looked okay against the Packers. I think it was more that the Packers just played about the worst game that they had all season long. Washington Commanders are the hot team at the moment. They're the Cinderella story. In fact, you could make the argument that 3 of the NFL's 4 best teams are remaining, and then you've got Washington with their rookie QB. Is this the week that Cinderella turns into a pumpkin? That spread looks a little tight for a championship game, but I think Philadelphia is just that much of a better team.
Yeah, they obviously played twice this year, and they split with one caveat. The second game was in Washington, and Philadelphia was up 14-0 in that game, and Hurts went out with a concussion in the first quarter.
That's right.
When he went out. So then it was Kenny Pickett the rest of the way. Washington came back and won. The situation heavily favors the Eagles. It just does. That's why they're favored by almost a touchdown in this game. Washington's playing their 4th straight road game, and the Eagles are playing their 5th straight home game. That's a heavy, heavy advantage for the Eagles. In fact, the 4th straight road game thing, this is the 8th time it's happened since 2000 where teams playing their 4th straight road game, and it's in the playoffs. The previous 7 teams are 0-7. They haven't won a game. The other thing that is against Washington here, the rookie quarterback thing you mentioned, but another historical thing that just rarely, if ever, happens. Washington's looking for their 3rd straight outright win as an underdog in the playoffs. They beat Tampa Bay as an underdog to start. They beat Detroit as an underdog. They're an underdog again. It's only happened once in NFL history. That was the 2008 Giants, who actually won 4 straight as an underdog and won the Super Bowl against New England. It just doesn't happen very much. So situation heavily favors the Eagles. Again, that's why they're favored by almost a touchdown in this game.
He is Mike Merlette of American Sports Analysts. I'm Dan O'Donnell, and we need an audience contestant. Mike, you said it was 14 straight years that the AFC Championship game featured either Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. We will take caller number 14 at 414-799-1130 or 1-800-838-9476. Caller number 14 is our audience contestant in the Mark Belling football preview and picking contest. The picking contest next here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha Total Traffic Center, 94 eastbound jam from 92nd to 35th, where you got a crash blocking the right shoulder. Heavy delays westbound from the Marquette to Mitchell Boulevard, and at the Stadium Interchange, a stall on the ramp to southbound Brewers Boulevard. If you see any issues, call the Total Traffic Tip line at 414-944-5111.
This report is sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on America's most dependable 5G network. Switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American, tons of trees movement, cutandgotrees.com. That's CUTNGOTREES.com.
Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you. It's deer season in Wisconsin, but I'm not talking about hunting. I'm talking, unfortunately, about car crashes. If you're unlucky and get into a collision with a deer, you could be entered into Mander's Hit a Deer, Win a Deer contest. That's deer as in John Deere, as in a brand new John Deere tractor mower. My friends at Mander want to add some positivity to what can be a stressful, traumatic event. So now through February 28th, anyone who hits a deer and has their vehicle repaired at any Mander Collision location will be entered into a drawing for a new Deere tractor. Hit a deer, win a deer, now through February 28th at all Mander locations. Start your repair today at mandercollision.com and find out why Mander truly is your best decision after a collision.
Picture taking your first steps into your brand new home. What do you see? Whether it's cooking meals in your 5-star kitchen or practicing downward dog in your sunroom, Belinsky Homes can handle it all. At Belinsky Homes, we know each lifestyle calls for unique home essentials. That's why we've been designing distinct and deliberate floor plans for over 60 years. Considering every last inch of space, we build new homes ready to adapt to your life's needs. Visit Belinsky.com today to find your right fit. Belinsky Homes, built for life.
Join the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra January 31st through February 2nd for a dazzling program of Baroque theatrical works, including Vivaldi's The Four Seasons. Tickets are going fast, so visit mso.org right now to reserve yours, or call the box office at 414-291-7605. Baroque violinist Rachel Ellen Wong, grand prize winner of the inaugural J.S. Bach competition, returns to the MSO to lead this triumph of Western art. Plus, you'll also hear gorgeous theatrical suites by 17th and 18th century masters Henry Purcell and Jean-Philippe Rameau. Don't miss the MSO in Vivaldi's The Four Seasons, January 31st through February 2nd at the Bradley Symphony Center. The number again for tickets is 414-291-7605 or online at mso.org.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
Skip waiting for a table and enjoy a homemade fish fry every Friday at Sendik's. Enjoy 3 pieces of beer-battered Northern Atlantic cod, fried shrimp, walleye fillets, or baked cod. Each include your choice of original potato pancakes or French fries, and all the fixings like fresh rye bread, creamy coleslaw, homemade applesauce, and Sendik's tartar sauce. Every Friday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at your neighborhood Sendik's. Sendik's Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368. At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
The new iHeart app.
Yeah, I've been playing around with it.
Love my radio, love my presets.
Thank you.
This is really easy to use.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app and set your first preset. Plus, discover the new live radio dial, scan, lyrics, podcasts, playlists, and your favorite artist's radio.
Open the app and everything's right there. I love it.
The new and improved iHeartRadio app. It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand.
Go get it. iHeartRadio.
To the Dan O'Donnell Show. It is the Mark Belling Football Preview and Picking Contest presented by Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac. No matter how much I do in this business, no matter the heights to which I take this show, I am still not allowed to pick in the Mark Belling Football Pick. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. I do enjoy doing this, however, as we have a brand new audience contestant. We welcome Mike in Coon Valley. We'll be picking in just a second. Only 2 games to pick from, as always. We start with Paul, who won his game last week by picking You picked Philadelphia. No, you did not pick Philadelphia. You picked Buffalo. Everybody else, it seemed, picked Philadelphia. Paul, you picked Buffalo over Baltimore. You are 11-10 on the season, doing pretty well, actually. What do you got this week? What game do you like? Philadelphia, Washington, Paul is asking for. The Eagles are 6-point favorites over the Commanders. Paul takes the Eagles. That one's pretty easy. Solid pick, I would think, Mike, for all the reasons we were talking about in the last segment. Up next is, in fact, Mike Merlette. Mike, do you like the Eagles-Commanders game or Bills-Chiefs?
I'm going to look at Eagles as well. You got that at 6, you said?
Yeah, that one's at 6, over-under at 47.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles as well. I took them last week, and they missed 2 extra points, and they had a safety. If they can make extra points this week, they should be fine here. We talked about Washington's situation, just a tough spot for them. And I think Washington in their first 2 games, if you look back to their first game, quick, Dan, they got outgained by 1.4 yards per play against Tampa and outgained by 1.2 last week, but they're +6 in turnovers in the 2 games. If Eagles don't turn the ball over here, keep the turnover margin even, I think they win by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, it's what they did in the Packers game. They just won the turnover battle, and Green Bay imploded from there. Mike in Coon Valley, you are our new listener contestant. Congratulations on getting through. Do you like the Eagles-Commanders game or Bills-Chiefs?
Could you tell me the spread for the Bills-Chiefs game quick?
Sure. Chiefs are 1.5-point favorites playing at home.
Yeah, with much trepidation, I am going to go with Philadelphia.
Okay. Well, you were scared off by the fact that the Chiefs-Bills game was too tight, huh?
Well, there's that, and Philly, they just have not looked good, so I'm hoping they can bring it together.
Okay.
But that's my trepidation. But I think the reasoning is sound for them, and I think I'll go with that.
So far, everybody taking the Philadelphia Eagles, except Mark, it seems. His pick. I was convinced, he writes, I had the right team with the Eagles last week, but they had a lot more trouble with the Rams than I thought. This weekend's games are really tough, as I like the Eagles, but they are laying too many points. I'm taking Buffalo, currently getting 1.5 points as I write this. KC is sitting on a loss. Like Minnesota, they have won ugly and close all year, and eventually that catches up with you. I virtually always take the better defense in the postseason, and this clearly is KC, but the Chiefs' offense is anemic and non-existent beyond Mahomes and Kelsey. While the Bills were lucky to beat the Ravens and might not be here were it not for Mark Andrews' Butterfingers, beating the Ravens is more impressive than a ref-aided win over a mediocre Houston team. Maybe Taylor Swift's magic has worn off now that Trump is president. Besides, the only 2 coaches to win 3 consecutive NFL championships are Curly Lambeau and Vince Lombardi. We need to keep Andy Reid from crashing that list. So, Mark will take the Buffalo Bills. Everybody else takes the Eagles. And Mike, I thought I had heard that the last 2 times a team was trying to win 3 NFL championships in a row or 3 Super Bowls in a row, they lost in the championship game the next year. Is that correct, the conference championship game?
Yeah, well, I know no one's ever three-peated for sure. So, yeah, that would be my guess, is 3 years and lost in the conference championship each game. So.
Yeah, because the last time it would have happened would have been the last time New England won back-to-back Super Bowls in, 04, 05, somewhere in that range. Yep. And then they would have still been in the championship game the next year, where I believe they lost to Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts, who then went on to beat the Bears. I'm not sure if I've got that right, but I know New England did lose, so I'm going to guess that the last time it was them. All right, we have got Eagles, and Bills for picks. Best of luck to everybody. We will be taking next week off because of the 2-week break before Super Bowl Sunday, and then the final week of the Mark Belling football preview and picking contest before the Super Bowl right here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. It is, as always, presented by Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac. It's worth the trip. Dan O'Donnell Show, coming right back.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Crash cleanup on 94 eastbound at 35th Street. It's off to the right shoulder. You do have some heavy delays, though, back to the Zoo interchange. In from Moreland, taking 33 minutes. Westbound at 15, delays break after Hawley. If you see any issues, call the Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank total traffic tip line at 414-944-5111.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast. Freshen up your morning with a Wendy's breakfast, like a breakfast Baconator, or a grilled sausage breakfast burrito, or even a Honey Buddy. Ready for a fresh wake-up call? Gotta be Wendy's. Available at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2896. That's 844-763-2896. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Next Tuesday, you'll go to your business. You'll stand there in your office and make decisions. I think when you make decisions, it might be well for you to ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for your business to buy things you need to increase profitability than it was 4 years ago? Does your business have more or less unemployment? Is your business as respected as it was? Do you feel your business is on as secure financial grounds as it was 4 years ago? And if you answer all those questions, yes, why then, I think your choice is very obvious as to who handles your brand and marketing. If you don't think the marketing course is what you would like to see your business follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
And it is improving the economy one business at a time. CreativeGeniusMarketing.com. I'mADishWeb.com.
I'm Dr. Dan Ross of Ross Dental New Berlin and our second Ross Dental Waukesha location. In dentistry, technology improves your experience ongoing if your dentist keeps up. We do. Most dentists finish same-day dental restorations the next visit, or the visit after that, after you're fitted with a temporary restoration. At Ross Dental, you come in with one tooth or teeth in need of substantial restoration and leave the same day with a fully restored, beautiful smile. With Ross's sedation dentistry, we can even replace a whole upper or lower arch of severely damaged or decayed teeth painlessly and quickly. Using Ross Dental's cutting-edge CEREC, I scan your prep tooth and send the precise AutoCAD-generated dimensions to our in-house mill. You relax. A filling or crown matching your natural tooth enamel is fabricated in minutes for perfect same-day, healthful, permanent restoration. With Ross Dental's affordable financing and convenient New Berlin and Waukesha locations, you can schedule same-day restorations, and very soon you'll smile like you just don't care, because you don't. RossDentalWI.com. That's RossDentalWI.com.
The first time I walked into Canine Resorts of Brookfield Luxury Pet Hotel and Daycare, I was amazed. Jerry Bott here. Canine Resorts is a doggy daycare and boarding facility focused on comfort, cleanliness, and care. Gorgeous facility, climate controlled with air purifiers, staffed by people who love dogs. Add that up, whether for daycare or an extended stay, and you get happy dogs and owners with peace of mind. Canine Resorts is on Blue Mound Road in Brookfield. Just stop in, take a tour. Through February, if you're a new customer, mention WISN when you register and get 3 days of daycare free.
This
This is House Call for Health. A new cancer screening device promises to make detection cheaper, faster, and more accessible than current diagnostic methods. Researchers at the University of Texas at El Paso are developing a system they say detects cancer markers in the blood in an hour. Instead of a lengthy procedure, their system uses a product similar to a coffee filter combined with plastic. Using a drop of blood from a patient, the new testing platform targets 2 cancer markers that can indicate both colorectal and prostate cancer. While the potential of the new screening device is said to be promising, it could take years before it's commercially available. The prototype will be put through clinical tests before ultimately requiring approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In a statement, lead researchers also mentioned the test would likely cost just a few dollars. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Welcome back to the Dan O'Donnell Show. A reminder, the Bucs game tonight at Fiserv Forum no longer starts in a half hour, but rather an hour and a half, pushed back by an hour. It is a televised game, but because the Bucs team plane was so late getting out of New Orleans this afternoon, they really had no choice. They would not have had enough time, and I believe they would have run afoul potentially of union regulations with respect to how soon you can start a game after the plane lands or how much time players have at the arena, that sort of thing. So the game is going to start at 7:30 tonight at Fiserv Forum. Obviously, all your tickets are still valid. It is remarkable what kind of weather they have gotten down south. I never thought the Bucs would be snowed out of a game in New Orleans and not Milwaukee. Maybe Minneapolis. They're playing the Timberwolves. But it was great to see up until yesterday where it just started snowing and didn't stop. I happened to get in really, really early yesterday, and I wasn't really paying attention. I got in probably 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning and just stayed right here until about 7 p.m. And yes, I did just say I got in really early at like 10 a.m. Hey, my show doesn't start until 3, okay? Sue me. It just did not stop snowing. I didn't think we were supposed to get, what would you say, we got 4 or 5 inches in some spots? Yeah, the roads were really bad when I got out. And it was great to see areas like Atlanta, New Orleans, especially parts of Florida, people celebrate, Pensacola, Florida, people celebrating getting something that they just have never seen. This is like how we are in Wisconsin. The first time it snows, especially if it's right before Christmas time, everybody's excited. Oh, it's a winter wonderland. And then by about the second or third snowfall, we're cursing the white crap every single time it falls. I'm sort of at that point right now. It's nice because we really haven't had snow yet, but if it were up to me, we'd be right back to 70 degrees following Christmas time. Out of time for today's show, Friday edition. Coming up, Paul, enjoy your trip. We'll see you later. We'll talk to you all tomorrow at 3.